Hey everyone, this is Jork. Thank you so much for watching. Today's video, I'm going to make short and sweet. Many people make these videos and they make them very long. I'm going to try to get to the point with mine. And this one, as you can tell from the thumbnail, is a 2-year perspective on living in Portugal, some of my pros and cons, things you may want to think about if you're moving here short term or if you're looking to retire here. So we moved in the fall of 2019, so we had 5-6 months before the world got nuts, where we got to see Portugal open and business as usual. Much of the last year and a half has been different, so I can't give you 2 years of here's what an open Portugal looks like, because I can only give you kind of the first 6 months, and then things got a little sideways, as it did for the rest of the world. So here are my pros for moving or living here over the last 2 years. First and foremost, it's cheap living, especially if you're coming from a major metropolitan location in Europe. You're probably still going to find it cheaper here in Lisbon, especially if you're coming from London, Paris, Rome. If you're coming from the US, I'm going to say, certainly going to find it cheaper as far as cost of living wise. I will say there is a con to that, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. Another pro, good weather. It doesn't snow here unless you're in the mountain region right next to Spain. So the weather's pretty moderate. And that's even if you're in Porto, might be a little colder, more like San Francisco, Northern California weather, or if you're in the Algarve, which is a little more moderate or a little warmer, especially in the wintertime. Great people here. That's another thing that's a pro. People have been very understanding, very patient. It's an easygoing, laid-back culture, so that's good. That's also can be bad, but I'll talk about that in a minute as well. But I think the people have been fantastic, the ones that we've met here that are local Portuguese, but very helpful. Also, great food and wine. If you're looking to get fat and enjoy the good life, this is definitely a place to do it. And it's a gateway to Europe. So if you like Europe, this is a great place to set up shop because it's cheaper to live here and then get to all the other places you want to go to. Those are basic pros that I think, I don't know that they're unique, but they're what we've experienced in our 2 years. Cons. Bureaucracy here will drive you nuts. Trying to get immigration appointment, you might have to go back for second or third appointments. Trying to get licensing for things like driver's license, been waiting a year, still waiting, who knows when. Those are things that can be difficult, and I've done a video on why you may want to acquire an attorney to help with some of that. Can't help with all of it, but can help with some, just because it can be cumbersome and very frustrating at times, for sure, and more so than what we've experienced in any other city that we've lived in. The bureaucracy and some of the government processes are just ridiculous. Along with that, so I mentioned cheap living as being the biggest pro, and it's true. I will say, though, rents in Lisbon, Porto, and the Algarve, which are 3 of the major places that expats or immigrants or people looking to retire or come here are looking to live, more likely than not, they're going to pick one of those 3 regions. Rents are going up, and even through pandemic, they're increasing. So that's something that the whole cheap living thing that's a major pro may become more of a con, because although groceries and other things, telecommunications and whatnot are very economical, if rents start going through the roof, there's going to be less people moving here, more people moving away. And then lastly, if you're retiring here, it's fantastic. I don't have anybody that's complained about that, but we're not retired. We're still working. Getting employment here is difficult, to say the least. There's high unemployment. There are not many jobs available. And it's not because, even if you know Portuguese, you might be able to do a service job like waiting tables or whatnot, a basic entry-level job. But some of the higher level, I'll say corporate jobs, are difficult to find here in Portugal. So you have to either get remote work from your home country or sign on with a company from another country, because it's just very difficult here. those are my main cons. Would we do it all over again? That's the main question that people ask. Been here for 2 years. We'd still move here and we'd still do it. That's still a concrete yes. Over time, if things change, if the government gets weird on us, if, let's say, things like safety starts waning, if we feel that we just feel more uncomfortable about being here, then I'll change my mind and do a video saying, hey, we're leaving, we're moving someplace else. But for the time being, we still feel like it's a really good place to live, and it still meets our pros outweigh our cons as far as just our lifestyle and where we are in our life. And I think that if you have the ability to take the plunge to get here, if you're still in the workforce, having a job before you get here is paramount. But if you're looking to retire, there are many places outside of the main regions that you can live and just live a very simple life and live like kings and queens off of so little compared to what you might need in retirement back in the US. So again, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. It's a little longer than I was hoping. I was hoping I'd make it about 4 or 5 minutes. It's a little longer than that. But thanks so much for sticking with me there. And I hope you enjoy the videos. And thank you so much and take care. Have a great day.